Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I was asked to speak something about the control of the mind from chapter 8, which is entitled Attaining the Supreme. Text 6. Yam yam vapi smaram bhavam tyajantyanti kalivaram tam tamaveti kaunteya sadatat bhavabhavitah. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail. Purport. The process of changing one's nature at the critical moment of death is here explained. A person who at the end of his life quits his body thinking of Krishna attains the transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord. But it is not true that a person who thinks of something other than Krishna attains the same transcendental state. This is a point we should note very carefully. How can one die in the proper state of mind? Maharaj Bharata, although a great personality, thought of a deer at the end of his life, and so in his next life he was transferred into the body of a deer. Although as a deer he remembered his past activities, he had to accept that animal body. Of course, one's thoughts during the course of one's life accumulate to influence one's thoughts at the moment of death. So this life creates one's next life. If in one's present life one lives in the mode of goodness and always thinks of Krishna, it is possible for one to remember Krishna at the end of one's life. That will help one be transferred to the transcendental nature of Krishna. If one is transcendentally absorbed in Krishna's service, then his next body will be transcendental, spiritual, not material. Therefore, the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare is the best process for successfully changing one's state of being at the end of one's life. The translation of the verse again. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail. Hare Krishna. So we discuss an extremely important topic here. Because our life depends on proper understanding of this verse. In Vedanta Sutra it is said, Anandamayo Vyasat, that we are living beings of happiness. We all want to be happy. Whatever we do, whatever we say, whatever we think, it's just searching for happiness, if we know it or not. Even if we do something we don't like, we want to avoid some misery resulting from it, if we don't do it. For example, if we have a job that we don't like, but we do this job because we are afraid that what will happen if I don't. So, yes, we always want to be happy. This is our nature. But therefore we should understand who we really are. Otherwise we will try to make happy something that we are not. And therefore we'll be miserable all the time. And who we are, who we really are, what do you think? Have any idea? Please don't be shy. Everything is okay. So please, don't be shy, please. Human? Okay. You have any other idea? Anyone?
We are just following the people.
Sorry?
We are just following the people.
Following the people?
The life we are living like, we want like that, we want like that. Just for that we are running for the money and everything. That's it. There is no peace, no happiness.
Yes. Why we run after money? Because
we need the good life, like not this life, combined life. Yeah.
sorry?
Luxurious, lavish.
And to basically to be happy. To buy things that we think that will make us happy. Good food, good apartment, we can go, good car, good home, yes, good clothes,
Good country.
anything like this. We think that these things will make us happy. But actually, Bhagavad-Gita in the beginning explains that we are not this body, that we are eternal soul. And if we think that that this body will bring us happiness, we'll be disappointed. Krishna says in 5th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, Yehi sansparsha bhoga dukkha yona evati adyantavantah kantena teshu mati buddha. That those who are wise, they don't try to enjoy in this body, because every enjoyment from this body has its beginning and its end. Adyantavantah. Adi means beginning and anta means end. And because any sane man wants to be always happy, not miserable even for the moment, that means that he doesn't want that happiness that makes him happy would be finished. Isn't it true? If something makes you happy, you don't want to finish. But it's nature of this world that everything finishes. So the more we enjoy in something, more we'll suffer when it ends. Yes. So it's this verse I quoted. It says, "Dukkha yona." It gives birth to misery. These enjoyments of this world that we think that will bring us happiness, will bring just misery to us. Yes. And more because we become attached to things that make us happy, don't we? And more we are attached to something, more we suffer when we lose it. Yes. So wise don't seek happiness in this temporary world. So according to Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Tasyaiva hitoh praiteta kuvido nalabhati yat pramatang uparyadah talabhati dukkhavat anyatak sukham kalena sarvatra gabhiraram hasa. That one who is intelligent, he doesn't seek something from this world, from these three worlds, as explained, but something that is not attainable in these three worlds. So one would think, this guy is crazy. He seeks something that is not attainable. But it is attainable on the spiritual level. And spirit by nature is eternal. And what is the problem also with common religion? Because people think, if I'm religious, I will enjoy my good karma. Isn't it like this? I may go to heaven, and I'll be happy. This is common way of thinking. But actually, majority of pious people, if not all pious people of this world, live just ordinary material life. They don't live sinfully, but ordinary material life. But they think, at the end of life, I'll go to heaven. I'm coming from Christian background, I'm coming from Slovenia, and Christians in Slovenia think like this, usually. They live ordinary material life, but they think I'm a good person, and at the end of life I'll go to heaven. But this verse doesn't support this. It's Krishna says, Yam yam vapi smaram bhavanti arjantyante kalevaram tam tam aveti kaunta sadatat bhava. Whatever state of being one has in mind when he leaves his body, that state he will attain undoubtedly, without any doubt. So if we want to live in heaven after death, we should live in heaven now. And if we want to be liberated after death, we should be liberated now. The death itself has no power to bring us some miracle. It will not change our state of existence. But if we don't go deep in spiritual life, we will forget all this knowledge of Bhagavad-Gita and other shastra, other scriptures, and we'll just live according we live every day. Isn't it? So Bhagavad-Gita recommends that we should train our consciousness. The next verse says, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mama nusmara yudyacha mayarpita manobudir mama veshasya samshaya. What does it mean? Tasmat means therefore. I told you, whatever state of consciousness you have at the time of death, that state you will attain, without doubt. So, what is the solution? Tasmat, therefore, sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudyacha. At all times, sarveshu kaleshu means at all times. Sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara, remember me, says Krishna. Remember me. Because the verse before this we discussed today, he says, Anta kalecha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yeh prayati samat bhavam yati nastyatra samshaya. That if you think of Krishna at the time of death, you will immediately attain the nature of Krishna. Mad bhavam, he says. You will attain my bhava, my nature, immediately. Yes. So our consciousness will define our destiny. So it's so important that we have trained consciousness. Because if we don't have trained consciousness, we just live according to our everyday concerns. Isn't it? We have our families, we have our job, we have so many responsibilities in this life, so many fears, so many desires to fulfill, and we'll completely forget Krishna. The moment we go out from the temple, we have our normal concerns. Isn't it like this? Yes. So it's crucial that we embrace spiritual practice. Otherwise, we won't be able to think of Krishna at the time of death. We won't be able. Death is not something pleasant, but it's traumatic experience, isn't it? Because our lungs stop functioning, our heart stops functioning, our kidneys stop functioning. Everything stops functioning, and this is traumatic experience. This is not some pleasant vacation that one would enjoy. No, it's traumatic, and we cannot have our mind in control. Yes, what I heard in the class, I should remember Krishna. No, it's not possible at all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, in order to remember Krishna, because our destiny depends on what we remember, then we have to train our consciousness, to train like a military training. Yes, it's important. It's not a joke, actually. It's not a joke. Because, as I said, that death is a traumatic experience. And if we don't train our consciousness when we are fine in our life, then we'll definitely remember what we deal with in our everyday life. And not just what we deal with, but what we think that brings us happiness. So if we think our family brings me happiness, then we'll think of our family at the time of death, our children, our relatives, our husband, our wife. And if we are attached to our wealth, we'll think of our wealth at the time of death. How this wealth can save my life, or even prolong it for a few days maybe. So we are ready to give all our wealth to prolong our life for a few moments maybe. So we think of our wealth, or if we think that our estate, our house will bring us happiness, then we think, what will happen with this now? I'm leaving, and we have these thoughts. The thoughts we cultivate all our life. It's natural, it will come to our consciousness without our thinking of. Because we are accustomed to think in this way, we'll naturally think like this. It cannot be otherwise. So Krishna is teaching Arjuna what to do. Because he says, Arjuna was also a family person. He has a wife and children, and his duty was to fight. And Krishna therefore said, therefore, tasmat sarveshu kaleshu, at all time, mamanusmara yudhyacha. Remember me and fight. So we can also do our duties, everyday's duties, because everyone has his duty according to his social position. Either we are brahmachari, we live in the temple, or we are grihastas, so we have families, we have children, we have jobs. So we have many different obligations and duties in our life. And Krishna explains, do your duty, but remember me. Always remember me. Always remember me. But if we cannot always remember Krishna, it's not easy for a conditioned soul to always think of Krishna. Because we are accustomed to think to so many things. And in the next verse, he explains, Abhyasa yoga yuktana chitta sananagamina, Abhyasa yoga yuktana chitta sananagamina, paramam purusham divyam yati partana chintayan. Therefore, take to Abhyasa yoga, to training of your consciousness. You should have drill of your consciousness by thinking of Krishna. And the only possible way of thinking of Krishna regularly is chanting of the holy names. This is the process for Kali Yuga. We live now in Kali Yuga. This Kali Yuga means the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. And I believe I don't have to prove to you that it's true. Because it's so obvious. And it is explained in Shastra, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Namaiva Kevalam, Kalau nastyeva 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 gatiranatha. that in this age of Kali, there is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way than chanting of the Lord's holy names, chanting of the Lord's holy names, chanting of the Lord's holy names. Yes, it's interesting verse. Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Namaiva Kevalam. Hari means, of course, the Lord, and Nama means the name, holy name. And it's supported by the word Eva. Eva means certainly. You cannot go around it. Certainly it's like this. And Kevalam, only this. It's another word that strongly supports. And Kalo means in the age of Kali. Asti means there is. And Nasti means there is not. Kalo, Nastyeva. And again this word Eva, which strongly supports the statement. Nastyeva, Nastyeva, 3 times uses. Gatiraneta. There is no other way. Certainly there is no other way. Certainly there is no other way. Certainly there is no other way. And it's interesting, if something is stated in the Shastra, in scriptures once, that means it's very important. Otherwise, why should be put in Shastra? Vyasadeva, who compiled the Shastra, didn't have some quota to fulfill, so much verses I have to put in, so much different statements. So whatever is in Shastra is really important. And if it is mentioned twice, is extremely important. Why would repeat himself? And if it is mentioned 3 times, we cannot go around it. It's crucial for our life. And here in one verse, we have 2 times, 3 times. Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama. Certainly, the Lord's name, Lord's name, Lord's name. Kalo, in this age of Kali, Nastyeva, Nastyeva, Nastyeva. There is no other way, no other way. Certainly there is no other way. Yes. So, Srila Prabhupada also mentions this in this purport to this verse we discussed today. So, it's crucial for our life to remember Lord's holy name, to chant the Lord's holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And these names are not ordinary names, not one of the Lord's holy names. They are so powerful that they can bring us to most intimate relationship with Krishna. Yes, most intimate relationship. We all want to have intimate relationships. Intimate relationship is something that makes us happy, even in this world, isn't it? If we love someone very dearly, this is much more satisfying than whatever we have. Maybe, for example, if we are a millionaire, multimillionaire, but we don't love anyone and no one loves us, it's miserable life. It's miserable life. And therefore many millionaires commit suicide because they don't see any possibility to be happy, because they don't love anyone and they don't trust anyone that love them, because they expect that everyone wants their money. So it's completely miserable life. So the relationship is the only thing that counts. But any relationship in this world will pass, will be finished. So if we count that any relationship in this world will make us happy, we'll be disappointed, we'll suffer. Of course we have families and we should have families, we should care for our families, but we should put our relationship with Krishna on the first place. And we should teach our family to do the same. Yes, because we want good for our family members, don't we? Yes. And the best thing possible for them is to connect with Krishna. Yes. So we should, if we really love our family, First, we should practice Krishna consciousness. It's confirmed. First, we should practice Krishna consciousness. And then we should teach by our example and by facilitating Lord Krishna's teaching to them. We should teach all our family members how to achieve the highest perfection of life. Hare Krishna. Do you have any questions or comments? Do you have any question?
I was thinking of if you are rich and like Pablo Escobar in Colombia.
Sorry?
Pablo Escobar.
Pablo Escobar?
Yeah, it's a guy in Colombia.
Yes.
Who sells drugs a lot, so he's getting very rich, very famous in the world.
Yes.
And he gave money around him, so people love him or like him.
Yes.
So what is the meaning of his life? I mean, he got money, he gave money around him to have some people around him.
He was a drug dealer?
Yes, very big one.
Yes, he was thinking that he's doing good. Everyone thinks of himself that he's doing good, that he's a good person. And that people love him. But this was great illusion. If he would stop giving money to people, they would start to hate him. Why? Because they became accustomed to receive money from him. And so they glorified him. You're very good, you're so generous, you care for people. But if he would stop giving money to people, they would start to hate him. Why don't you give us money? We need your money. You're selfish. You understand? So this praise and love because of distributing money is just illusion. It's just fake love, not genuine love. And on the other hand, he destroyed lives of millions by big drug dealing. So his life is completely miserable in reality. So much better process is to remember Lord's holy name. So I wanted to stress this, really. Come regularly to the temple and please take your time early in the morning. Early in the morning, because early mornings are peaceful. And chant the holy name. Take your japa beads. I don't have here. So take your japa beads. Do you know what are japa beads? Yes. You don't know?
1 of 8 beads.
Prayer beads.
Mala.
Mala. Japa mala. Prayer beads. I don't know if here you have at the end. You know what is it?
Yeah, I know that.
Yes.
In Hindi we call mala.
Mala.
I don't have mala right now, but in the morning I am chanting with my this
Fingers.
108 times.
Yeah. This is good. You should increase. Yes. Prabhupada set the standard for those who are serious in their chanting for 16 times, 100 times, 108 times. Yes. 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra. Because this mantra is extremely powerful. So chant as much as you can. But really go deep. Not just lip service. Lip service is nothing. Because this is a process of Krishna consciousness. Because the consciousness is something that counts. Not moving our lips. So when we chant, switch off your phones, because the phone is the ultimate distractor of this age. So no sound should come from the phone at all, and put it in another room that there will be no temptation to look into it. So take your time for your soul. Otherwise, the life will go by and you won't even realize. For example, only when I was 45 years old, I don't know if you're as old as 45, maybe not, maybe you?
Yeah, approximately.
You're approximately 45? Yes. And you? No, you don't look 45. When I was 45, I started to notice old people around myself. Of course, I knew before that there are old people, but I didn't notice them very consciously. But when I was around 45, I started to notice them. That they're going around with these sticks in their hand and so on. And I said, oh my God, only a few years and I'll be like this. Yes. So life goes by so quickly. So quickly. I have 3 children and I just got them and they already are grown up people. It's so quick, really. And if we don't focus on our spiritual life, it will just go by and we will have our concerns in our life, other concerns, and we'll go in these concerns. So we should train our consciousness. We should train our consciousness to think of Krishna, because it's not natural for conditioned soul. For conditioned soul, it's natural to be absorbed in our own selves, not and in our problems. But we should train our consciousness to be absorbed in Krishna, to start to develop relationship with Krishna. That is what is important, this relationship. Yes. And we shouldn't turn to Krishna with our material desires. I want this, because as explained by Prahlad Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam, this is Vanik mentality. I serve you and I expect that I'll get something in return. A good job, or good children, or happy family, or peaceful mind, a lot of money, and such things. This will ruin our relationship to Krishna. Krishna may give us, no problem, but we will not have a relationship with Krishna. Yes. We will not have at least loving relationship with Krishna. We will have business relationship with Krishna. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much.
Thank you
For your attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhaktavinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi.